What's going on, everyone? It's SnowDrift here. Before we get the video kicked off, I just want to say that if you enjoy the video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, give me a thumbs up, and if it helped you out, remember to share it with your friends, your family, and your dog. Your dog most importantly. Full disclosure on this video, you guys, I actually recorded this video January 26th, 2017. This is a much younger SnowDrift, well, a year younger SnowDrift. And a few corny parts here and there. I had fun editing it though. I've been meaning to get this edited out for a long time, but with everything that goes on in life, you just kind of get pushed behind a little bit. But I'm going to shut up now. Without further ado, let's get on with the video.
All right, guys. Today we're going to be taking off the clutch cover for the bike. I think I know what that washer is for. So let's dive right into this. The oil's already drained. I just got done filming the video of taking the oil pan off. So we're going to break into this thing and see. Grab your big ass 17 mil. Actually, I don't want to use that one. This is a special 12.17 mil that I bought to put a flywheel on my car. Use a 6-point. That'll work better. Get as much surface area as you can. Using 3/8 as always. It's a tool of choice. I gotta prove my manliness here. Oh, the bike moved. This right here is an inspection window for the crankshaft. I don't really know what you can. Wow, there's a helicopter above me. I'm in trouble. I'm just kidding. So I don't know what you can inspect through this window, but it's an inspection window. All right, so now that I got that off, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bolts holding that bad boy on. So two more bolts holding this on as compared to the oil pan. You just want to break these loose one at a time. I do not know the torque spec. I apologize for that. Some of these are on a little bit tighter than the others. Got to use my man strength on them. And I'm going to finish getting this off. I'll get back to you. All right, guys. I think I got all the bolts off. Or loose, anyway. These bolts are actually shorter than the oil pan bolts that I have down there. And so it's going to be hard for you to mix these up. But at the same time, if you don't have... if you want to be doubly sure, put them in a Ziploc bag and label it. I don't have that kind of time. So I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to remember where I put everything. And I have video evidence of where I'm putting stuff to, so that helps a whole lot. Plus, I've done this before, so I've taken this off before, and so that's how I'm pretty sure I know where that washer goes. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think I'm the one that lost the washer. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that lost the washer. I was actually on the phone with my dad when I did it. This is me, trying to help you guys learn from my mistake. I was talking to my dad and I was working on this thing, and I was on the phone with him, and I pulled this cover off and I heard a clank, and I was like, "Did you hear that?" And Dad was like, "Yeah, what was that?" I'm like, "That was a piece of metal falling into my oil pan." So, yeah. That's why I took the oil pan off. Also, I think the oil pan is leaking, so that helps with that. But I think the original leak was from this piece right here. So, with that being said, I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone here. So I'm going to re-gasket both of them, so that way I don't have to worry about the leak, and I can put that washer back where it goes. And where that washer goes, I'm about to show you. Now, to pop this thing off, it's probably going to be pretty easy for me since I have taken this off before. Originally, it was super hard to get off, but this is my method of doing it. This may be completely wrong, but this is how I do it. Take that off. Take that out. Screwdriver against the inside of the cover, not on these threads, on the inside. Pry against this bolt. You are not going to hurt it. It's off. That's all it was. Pry against the clutch. You can't really see it in there, but pry against the clutch. Very gently. You hear that? There it is. It's off. I barely used any pressure at all. All right, I'm going to try to hold the camera with my legs and pull this off at the same time. Once you start wiggling it, you should be home free. Just wiggle. And if you don't have the oil pan off, be very careful. There's two gears in here. One of them is the starter gear, and one of them is a larger gear. It's the idler gear for the starter to spin the starter clutch, which is what this is. I'm pretty sure this is the starter. Actually, I think I lied to you. I'm pretty sure this is the starter clutch. I'll show you guys when we get in here. But be very, very careful. There's two washers attached to a shaft. I'll show you when we get in here. Once you start wiggling this thing, you should be home free. Just wiggle until you can't wiggle no more. Oh. Alright. That is your crank position sensor. Do not let this cover hang by the crank position sensor. The manual for this bike wants you to pull the tank off and unplug it and unroute it. We're not going to do that today. We're going to zip tie it up like normal human beings. 1 second. Okay, see, there's no stress on this wire at all. And even if there was a little bit, wire is strong, guys. Wire is really strong. Like, I've seen engines being held up by one strand of wire. Like, the tensile strength is crazy. But if you, I mean, like that, there's no tension on this wire. I mean, it's wrapped around the fairing right here, but literally there's no tension. And I've just got two zip ties hanging it from the handlebar right there. So you're fine with that. That's completely, perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Any good engineer would say the same thing. It's not proper, but it's fine. So, with that being said, you want to get all this old gunk out of here and kick your bolts just like I did. Kicking them is crucial to this step. Gosh. And if you hear Metallica, that's just how I roll. Someone went really overkill the last time they used this sealant. I wonder who that could have been. It really doesn't take this much sealant, you guys. It's just I'm crazy. And since the sealant isn't that old, I'm going ahead and just peeling it off because it's easier the newer it is. Okay, I'll get the rest later. Here's what we're looking at. This right here is your starter Bendix. Don't play with it very much. It's okay to touch it, but don't go yanking it. This is your idler gear. This spins this. This is what starts your engine. This is your starter clutch. This is what starts your engine. Little tiny gear, medium-sized gear, big-ass gear starts this, starts the motor. Or, well, engine. This is not a motor, this is an engine. Look up the difference if you don't know. And see this washer right here? This is a retaining washer. It's bent because it pushes, it keeps tension on another washer. That washer. And it fell off the last time I did this. So, when you pull the cover off, this shaft and this shaft sits inside these two holes. And I could not find a video on this on YouTube. So I'm doing it. I cannot tell you how pissed off I have been about this because I could not find a video on YouTube that was worth a damn anyway. Alright, here's my phone with some extra light. I'm shooting this in 2.7K so you guys can actually see what's going on. Okay. This is your starter gear. This is the Bendix. There is no washer on this at all. There is no washer, okay? It doesn't need a washer. It's not going anywhere, okay? This right here, this is what fell off the last time I was in here. See this? Look at that. Crazy, right? That this will move on you. It will fall off, and it will fall inside this, and somehow it will hit perfectly inside this case, and it will fall off inside of your oil pan. Don't do what I did. Learn from my mistakes. I left the oil pan off just in case this happens again. So, there's no way I can screw this up. I say that, then I screw up immensely. I will be the person to strip one of these bolts. You just sit and wait. I'll let you know if that happens. Alright, so, and I did not want to leave that washer inside my bike. I did not want that. After I did all of this work, I did not want the engine to mess up. Alright, so I'm admitting to my mistake. I'll be a man about it. People that can't admit to their mistakes need to grow up. So I'm admitting to it on international YouTube video, on not really live, but it's online. I'm admitting that I messed up. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to show you how to do this right. In fact, hang on. Okay, you guys see this? I'm on honda.mymcparts.com, okay? This is a site where you can order stuff. There's a lot of sites like this that have factory equipment for Hondas, Suzuki's, Yamahas, what have you. So, this is what we are looking at. There's the starter gear right there. That is what fell off my bike on the inside. You see that wavy washer? That one? And you see the washer that goes on the front of it? That one? That's what fell off. So there's you a diagram. Here's the rest of the stuff. There's the starter clutch, but we're not worried about that. It's fine. And I committed the ultimate sin and actually started my bike after that fell off in there, and I put the plate back on. I shouldn't have even put the plate back on there. I should have just done all this and saved me a bunch of headache and time, but you know, I made a mistake. So, and I could barely sleep because I knew this happened. So, that's the order of which this goes. It's really hard to mess it up, especially with all the information that you have online. So don't be a dummy like me. Don't mess it up. Take your time. And if you hear something fall, then just take the pan off. You're fine. Just leave. I mean, that's the best thing to do, is just leave when something bad like that happens. It will literally make you lose your mind. It drove me insane after that happened. So, here we have it. Make sure you clean this stuff really, really well before you go putting it back inside your engine. I mean, you can say all day that the oil filter will catch whatever gets in there. It will, but you don't want that. I mean, you don't want it to have to work hard at its job. Okay? So, with all that being said, I'm kind of getting all this crap off of this thing. So this slides on here like this, and it is a tight fit, guys. I mean, it's a very tight fit. And I mean, this gear is loose. I mean, that's just how it is. This gear is literally held in by nothing but pressure, and then it sits between this big gear and the starting Bendix gear, and that's just, you know, how it works. So you get that back on there. Great. Grab your freshly cleaned washer. And this is the washer. It's the wavy one. It goes on first. It's almost like a spring. And then you got this one. And I don't think it has an orientation. So I'm just gonna, you can kind of tell which way something goes if you just look at it the right way. I'm pretty sure this is the face side, or not the face side, this is the face side. So, actually no, this is the face side, because you can see where that wavy washer has been, you know, rotating on it just a little bit. So this goes on just like this, and that is what fell off. And that's important, you know. That's basically not just a washer, it's a spacer, which I guess that's the definition of a washer, but it keeps this pressed up against that. And think if this gear walked a little bit off of this, you'd be in a living nightmare if that happened. So moral of the story, take your time, don't be in a rush. And I say that, but I'm in a rush, but I'm not touching this stuff. I'm about to stop right here, and I'll continue filming after I get back from work, and I'll finish this up tonight. So I'm going to leave you guys now. I'm going to go to work. I'll come back, start filming again, and everything's going to be just like this. And don't worry, it's going to all be locked up. And yeah, there's dust in here, but nothing's going to be kicking up dust or moving anything. I'll make sure everything's nice and clean before I continue. And there's no better time to clean anything while the oil pan is off the bike. So there you go, guys. There you have it. This will get you started on what you need to know. And I hope this video, I hope it gets a lot of views, because I mean, some people need to know this kind of information, honestly. And I want this video to be spread so that way people know what they're getting into. And this was a big learning experience for me as well, because I've had that off, but I've never had that off. I've never had this much of the exhaust off. So it's been a good time for me. I've enjoyed this for the most part. So thank you, guys. I'll continue filming when I get back.